Hey Raiders Nation! Welcome back to the only place where true silver and black fans stay locked in. You're with your host, and today's episode is packed with updates you won't want to miss. But before we jump into the latest Las Vegas Raiders news, take a second, subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and tap that bell icon so you never miss a big moment in Raider Nation. Done? Alright, let's roll. Now, let's talk about something that's got a lot of people talking again. Henry Ruggs. Recently, a conversation from the Pivot podcast sparked fresh interest. Raiders running back Josh Jacobs opened up about Ruggs, how he's staying in shape, keeping a positive mindset, and holding on to the hope of someday returning to football. Jacobs said he's still in touch with Ruggs, and every time they talk, Ruggs sounds hopeful and focused. He's training regularly, and it's clear he hasn't let go of his dreams. Jacobs even mentioned that some teams might be open to giving Ruggs a second chance. But here's the truth. Ruggs is still incarcerated at Casa Grande Transitional Housing. He's not eligible for parole until August 5th, 2026. Now, whether or not a return to the NFL is realistic, that's a big question. And whether the Raiders would even consider bringing him back. That's something fans have asked again and again. My honest take, we'll get into that in just a moment. But let's keep one thing in mind. Jacobs and Ruggs go way back. They were teammates in college. That kind of bond runs deep, and it's never easy to talk about situations that are complicated and emotional. But this isn't about promotion. It's about real conversations and what's happening with our team. When you suit up for a program like Alabama, you don't just play football. You form bonds that last far beyond the field. Josh Jacobs and Henry Ruggs weren't just teammates, they were brothers in battle. And when you take that bond into the NFL, it's hard to just let it go. But now comes the difficult truth. Henry Ruggs made a tragic decision, one that ended a young woman's life and took her dog too. Reports say Ruggs was driving at a deadly speed after a night out, and what followed was a heartbreaking moment that the Raider Nation will never forget. There's no debate about the pain caused. A life was lost, a family forever changed, and while Ruggs remains behind bars, conversations are growing louder. Should he get another shot in the NFL? Here's my honest answer: no. This isn't about hate. This isn't about holding grudges. It's about responsibility. And in my heart, I believe not spending the rest of his life in prison is the second chance. But playing in the NFL? That's a privilege, not a right. If the family of Tina Tintor has found a way to forgive, that takes strength. And it reminds us that forgiveness is possible. But even then, that doesn't mean the Raiders, or any NFL team, should bring Ruggs back onto the field. And let's give credit where it's due. Mark Davis, owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, attended Tina's funeral. That's not something many owners would do. It was a rare and genuine act of respect. Still, through all the talk about Ruggs, one thing gets left out too often. Tina Tintor and her dog, Max. Their names matter. Their story matters. This isn't just about a football player. It's about lives that were lost. As fans of the silver and black, let's keep it real, let's keep it respectful, and let's remember who the true victims are. Now let's shift our focus to the latest updates from the heart of Raider Nation. There's a new name joining the silver and black, laki Tasi, a young talent brought in through the NFL's International Pathway program. Only 21 years old, Tasi hails from Australia and brings a rugby background that's already turning heads. He played for Ashgrove GPS in Queensland Premier Rugby, a league known for producing aggressive athletic talent. And when you see the way Tasi moves at his size, it's no surprise the Raiders saw potential in him. But with every new arrival, there's usually a tough goodbye. In this case, David Agoha, another international player with promising signs of growth, was released to make room. Now here's the interesting part. Sources close to the team say Agoha was trending in the right direction, showing flashes that had some people thinking he might stick. So the decision to bring in Tasi instead, that says something. It means the Raiders front office saw something in this young Aussie that's worth the risk. Maybe more raw athleticism, maybe more upside. The Raiders have always been known for taking chances on unique athletes, from different sports, different paths, and different backgrounds. This is just another chapter in that legacy. For fans of the silver and black, it's not just about big names, it's about the potential to find diamonds in the rough. And who knows? Tasi might just be one of them. Let's talk about something that doesn't always make headlines but could shape the future of the Las Vegas Raiders in a big way: the front office. The Raiders just made a significant move, hiring Brian Stark as the new assistant general manager. If that name doesn't ring a bell yet, it should, because this is more than just a behind-the-scenes change. Stark comes to Vegas after spending 13 years with the Denver Broncos, including 8 years as their director of college scouting. And if there's one thing the Broncos have done well in recent years, it's finding talent through the draft. So, pulling someone like Stark away from a division rival? That's a bold and calculated move. But what really connects the dots here is his history with Raiders GM Tom Telesco and John Spytek, the new key figures shaping this Raiders regime. Stark and Spytek worked together back in Denver from 2013 to 2015, and that relationship clearly played a role in bringing him to the silver and black. This isn't just about scouting. It's about building a team with people who trust each other, who've worked together, and who understand what kind of players they want to bring to the Raiders. And here's the best part for fans. This hire signals long-term planning. It's about smarter drafts, better depth, and building a roster that's sustainable. Not just exciting for one season. Moves like this might not light up social media, but if you're paying attention, you know they matter. Let's dive back into the action surrounding the Las Vegas Raiders, because more moves are happening behind the scenes that could shape the team's future. The Raiders have made some smart adjustments in their scouting department. Ben Chester, who has been with the team as a pro scout since 2014, has now been promoted to Assistant Director of Pro Scouting. It's a well-earned step up, and one that shows the team is investing in people who've been quietly grinding for years. And that's not all. The Raiders also brought in Jonathan Stiegel, a seasoned evaluator who spent last year as a national scout for the New York Jets. Now, he joins the Silver and Black as Assistant Director of College Scouting. This isn't just a title change. Stiegel comes with serious respect from his peers. He's won 3 Bartlist Awards, a rare honor that recognizes scouting excellence as voted by actual NFL scouts. His past experience spans teams like the Browns, Eagles, Dolphins, and Bears, giving him a deep well of knowledge across different systems and player profiles. And while front office moves don't always make headlines, these hires show a clear focus: build smart, build strong, and build for the future. But the Raiders aren't only moving behind the scenes, they're looking at fresh talent on the field too. Most recently, they invited running back Kavod Brickton to their rookie camp. That name might not be familiar yet, but it should be. Brickton finished 3rd in voting for the 2025 Walter Payton Award, which honors the best player in the FCS, a sign of serious college-level talent. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Raiders' own Tommy Mellott won the Walter Payton Award. They also drafted Cam Miller, who finished 2nd. That means the Raiders now have 3 of the top players from the FCS level all competing on the same field. It's a smart strategy. Target hungry, underrated players with something to prove. That's the kind of edge that builds a real Raider team. The Las Vegas Raiders continue to hunt for hidden gems, and this week, their focus has been crystal clear: physicality and potential. Let's start with Kavod Brickton, a compact powerhouse of a running back who just might be one of the most underappreciated names in the country. Standing at just 5 feet 7 inches and 215 pounds, Brickton is built like a wrecking ball, and runs like one too. Over the last 3 seasons, he racked up more than 4,100 rushing yards and found the end zone 50 times. That includes nearly 2,000 yards and 18 touchdowns just last year. The Raiders are making it obvious. They want backs who run hard, punish defenders, and never back down. Britton fits that mold exactly. And in an unexpected but strategic move, the Raiders also signed wide receiver Collin Johnson. He's not just another camp body, he's currently the tallest receiver in the entire NFL, standing at a towering 6 feet 6 inches and weighing in at 222 pounds. While Johnson hasn't made a major splash in the league yet, he brings tools you can't teach: size, catch radius, and red zone potential. He's not known for an elite route tree, but what he lacks in flash, he makes up for in physical traits and leadership. Back in college, Johnson was a team captain at Texas, which speaks volumes about his character, something the Raiders clearly value. Take a look at the roster moves this offseason, and there's a pattern. The Raiders are stacking players with grit, character, and upside, players who may not have peaked yet, but have the foundation to grow into reliable contributors.